What's sniffling
He said
about?
it wasn't a cold. What was the sniffling about?
Well, it wasn't
the
what
water.
it
What's with
wasn't
the
what
water?
Howard Dean said. I guess he was thirsty. You're going to criticize somebody
But they
for
went
being
after
thirsty
Marco
and
Rubio.
sniffling?
Remember when after Marco
Goodness.
Rubio for that? But
Wait,
this-
we're going to go after him for drinking water, and we're not going to ask
They did
Hillary
it to Marco
Clinton
Rubio.
why 5 people on her staff pled the Fifth and took immunity last
But
week?
Here's the problem.
Here's the problem,
Kellyanne. Once you open that can of worms, we have to then open your can of worms.
That is tough. That is sick stuff. That view. It is really sick. I don't know what else to say. Did you hear Joy Behar? Did you hear Joy? Why did he take a drink of water? What was he taking a drink of water for? He's thirsty. I mean, what these people are nuts. I can't take it. And so Kellyanne brings up, you want to know why Donald Trump took a drink of water, but you're not talking about why 5 of Hillary's people took the Fifth Amendment? And then Whoopi says, well, if you open that can of worms, then we have to open your can of worms, because that's what we do. This is sick stuff. Wayne Allyn Root is here, former Libertarian vice presidential nominee, Trump supporter, and author of Angry White Male. And Kurt Schlichter, trial lawyer, senior columnist at townhall.com, retired U.S. Army colonel, and author of People's Republic. Wayne, I can't. Jake Tapper thinks it's all about fidelity. How dare Donald Trump talk about Clinton's women when he's surrounded by people who have, are philanderers and blah, blah, blah. He makes believe he doesn't get it. These women on The View don't even make believe. They're just outright nuts. How could Trump overcome this stuff?
Well, first of all, in the next debate, make sure that he has his usual high energy. I thought he was very Jeb Bush-like in this debate, and that's the biggest put down you could ever make for a guy like me who loves Donald Trump and who thinks he was perfect in putting down Jeb Bush. He's a high energy guy. Jeb Bush is a low energy guy. Donald needs to be high energy. Somehow he came into this debate low energy with 2 hands tied behind his back. He's got to go after the Clinton Foundation and the Clinton emails 24/7. That's what he's got to do. But by the way, in the media circus platform type of situation, I think we should be mentioning the fact that Hillary made the centerpiece of the debate that former Miss Universe, Alicia Machado, right. And now it turns out she gave birth to a baby with a mafia gangster who's in prison. She was accused of racing away from an attempted murder in the getaway vehicle. She was driving it for her boyfriend. She was accused by a Venezuelan judge of threatening to murder him, and she's basically a porn star who had sex on film in the Big Brother version reality TV show in Venezuela. She had sex on air live.
Sounds like a Hillary supporter to me. Kurt, you and I were victimized by this media, both of us on CNN at different times, told to basically shut up. So I'll ask you also. I mean, could you ever have imagined, all along, I remember saying, boy, if Donald Trump is the nominee, he's gonna shut her up on the women issue. He's gonna bring out all these women. He's actually, because of the media right now, losing on the women issue. How is that possible?
Well, I'm not sure he's losing. I'm not sure that the people that Donald Trump was talking to, which are not trial lawyers in Los Angeles, are listening to this whole Alicia Machado thing, except when you mention the porn star stuff. Then everyone's eyes get perked up. And you're like, no wonder the Clintons are fans. But here's the thing. Donald Trump was lazy. He was lazy, and he was arrogant, and he didn't come to play. And he needs to get his head in the game. There is one guy at fault for what happened the other night, and that's Donald Trump. And I'm hoping that Kellyanne and Steve Bannon and all the rest slap some sense into him and tell him to get out there. He's got a great case, which is, Hillary, after 30 years of failure, you want to put 4 to 8 more on us. People are out of work. People are worried about the future. Americans are being murdered, and you're walking around, complaining because 20 years ago I said, a chick who got fat got fat.
Right.
I mean, come on.
No, well, and Wayne,
got it.
Wayne,
he needs to use it.
You've been there, Wayne, as a former, vice presidential candidate for the Libertarian Party. Because look, everybody tells me, and it's not that I know something everybody doesn't, he doesn't listen to Kellyanne, to Bannon, to the ones before him, to his own children. He doesn't listen. So if he maintains that, What are we going to see going forward?
Let me tell you why I disagree that he doesn't listen, okay? He's his own man. He's obviously a billionaire. He's a mogul. He's had things his own way his whole life. It's not easy to get him to listen. But I believe my take on this is he listened too much on this one. Donald's instincts are Donald should be Donald. And he's back to being Donald again. He realizes he lost the debate, and suddenly he's tweeting out about Alicia Machado having sex and saying, here's the live sex tape. Donald's back to being Donald. He was told, I'm sure, in that debate, please be nice to Hillary. At all costs, call her Madam Secretary. Be nice to her, no matter how vicious she is to you. Do not hit back. We need to win over independent women, and you can't look like a vicious man. In the next 2 debates, he's going to go for the jugular. He's going to be the old Donald, and I think he will stop listening to all these experts and handlers who told him to be nice and to hold back. And it's going to be balls to the walls, metal to the pedal to the metal, metal to the pedal, whatever that is. And he's going to go for it. And that's what he needs to do. And, oh, by the way, someone ought to tell Megyn Kelly over at Fox News when she criticizes Donald for being nasty to fat women that last I checked, she's got her job because she's pretty and thin. She wouldn't get hired on Fox News if she gained 30 pounds. If she wasn't beautiful, she wouldn't have a job on Fox News. Everyone knows that. That's the TV business. Donald's in the TV business. You have every right to ask women and men to look good and to stay
right,
thin.
and she had a contract.
Business.
Right, Wayne, this Miss Universe had a contract. She had to maintain a certain appearance, etc. That's part of the showbiz. Everybody knows I'm only here because I'm so good looking. I mean, let's face it. So, Kurt.
You are thin. That's good.
That I am thin. Kurt, so let me ask you this. Dick Morris was just with us, and he said, he has to. I agree with this. He has to shut up about Machado already.
Exactly.
What he should be doing, he should be tweeting out and bringing the women. Bring forward Kathleen Willey.
And the fact that we're talking about this this lady is getting us off point. Obama and Clinton are one and the same, and they've destroyed the economy for tens of millions of Americans. Let's talk to the guy in the VFW Hall in Pennsylvania. Let's talk to the guy in the Union Hall in Michigan. These are the people we need to be talking to, and they don't care about some telenovela star from freaking Caracas. Let's talk about trade. Let's talk about Americans being murdered in the street by the kind of people that Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton are throwing the gates open to let in without any vetting.
Wayne?
That's what we need to talk about.
I just wanted to say the #1 issue in America, I didn't even hear Kurt mention this one. I know he'll agree with me. The #1 issue wasn't even mentioned in the debate at all. Not by Lester Holt, not by Hillary, of course, and not by Donald. That was the biggest mistake. The issue is Obamacare. It's wiping out the middle class. It's destroying every decent job. It's killing every small businessman I know. And that's on the personal level. On the national level, every Obamacare exchange and co-op is going bankrupt or has gone bankrupt. It's dragging the entire economy down. There's no GDP. It's almost at zero because of Obamacare. And here's the funny part. When you look at the stats, I happen to be a policy wonk, and when I stare at the stats, below the headline, there's no GDP. Do you know what the single biggest thing that's keeping GDP at just about zero?
Let me guess. Obamacare. Okay.
Without the expense of paying these massive increases for hospitals and doctors and health insurance, GDP would be like -8%, and we'd be in a Great Depression. So the very thing that's bankrupting the average middle-class person is actually keeping the economy afloat because we're spending so much money on health care. This is crazy. And Donald Trump should have made that the centerpiece of the entire debate.
Right, Kurt. Let me run 3 things by you real quickly. On the cyberspace, the cybersecurity segment of the debate, Donald should have made the whole thing, sort of turned it on its head and said, look what we're talking about. So Hillary, how did you ever, in this climate, set up a private server, have your emails subject to hacking, blah, 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 blah. The whole segment should have been turned on that. When Hillary said at the end, you consider a pregnancy to be an inconvenience to employers and you don't want to pay women, he should have said, you've never paid women as much in your Senate career or at the foundation, and you consider pregnancy an inconvenience to women because you're for abortion right up until the time of birth.
Yep, exactly. Look, Donald needed to prepare. He needed to prepare. He's lazy and arrogant. And I'm a supporter because I detest Hillary. He needs to get his stuff together and get in there and get ready to play. Because if he doesn't, he's going to lose. Because we spent the last 4 days, talking about what's her name?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yep.
People are
And may I
suffering
jump-
out there. Be their voice, Donald.
All right.
That's what got you where you are.
Final word, Wayne.
Hey, Steve.
Wayne, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say the most devastating attack when they bring up women and how Donald treats them and emails and everything else. It is that, look, Hillary, you have the Clinton Foundation. Forget about the fact that it's a criminal enterprise that's worthy of being better than the Gambino crime family. You extorted money from foreign governments. Look at who you took the money from. Despots who murder women, who abuse women, who rape women, who keep concubines, who drop gays off the roofs of
It
buildings.
makes sense, Wayne. You're absolutely right. That's another point he missed out on. Hey, guys, great debate. Thank you very much. Wayne Allyn Root, Kurt Schlichter. Up next, Mark McKinnon, former media advisor for George W. Bush and his Showtime show, too. Don't go away.